Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Laurie-Ann, and you are listening to the Be in Demand podcast. This is the podcast where I help entrepreneurs just like you leverage speaking opportunities as your best form of marketing. Today is a very special speaker breakthrough session. Dr. Zaria, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, can you share with me what it is that you do and who you help?
Sure. Okay. So I am a functional medicine physician. Not everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, please explain.
Yes. So functional medicine is a branch of, I would say, integrative holistic medicine that focuses on whole body systems and interconnectedness, as well as getting to the root cause of symptoms rather than just treating symptoms on their own. We try to figure out, why are these symptoms occurring? What are the dynamics? What are the imbalances in the body? And then try to address them so that we can truly get folks to heal and not provide Band-Aid solutions that don't address the underlying causes and can perpetuate the disease dynamics and lead to worse disease down the road.
Yes. Oh my God.
A short overview of what functional medicine is. I think it's really cool. We use a lot of biochemistry and a lot of real hardcore science to figure things out. We're sort of like medical detectives.
Oh, I love that. I like that. Medical detectives. Okay.
Yeah.
So who specifically do you work with?
So I pretty much exclusively work with women, smart, high-achieving women who have been struggling with symptoms of chronic stress and burnout, whether they realize it or not. It can be physical manifestations. It can be things like issues with sleep, with digestion, with autoimmune issues, with hormonal imbalances, lots of fatigue, just when the stress becomes actually a physical issue as well. And they may not realize, they may come to me just for physical issues and may not realize the role that chronic stress is playing in all kinds of disease dynamics. So we work with healing folks from the inside out so they can really thrive and get back to doing what they love and living a fulfilling life with a lot more energy.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I love that. You're my people. And you know, I'm somebody who comes from healthcare, so cardiac and vascular. So you speak my language. What would you like to get out of this coaching call? What is going to serve you?
So I had the opportunity last month to live my dream and deliver a TED Talk at Tedx University of Washington in Seattle. And the focus of the talk was on burnout. Everyone can watch the talk on YouTube. It's the one step to alleviating burnout. And it was a life-changing experience. It was something that I had wanted to do for a long time. I was so excited to get to finally do it. Mm-hmm. And now I would love to be able to leverage that talk and be able to turn it into more opportunities and more speaking engagements and be able to speak on more stages, maybe internationally, maybe more corporate gigs. I love to be on stage and speak. I love to help patients one-on-one, but that's, one way to do things in a very slow, small fashion. And I want to affect change on a larger scale, speaking to a larger audience rather than just trying to help one person at a time. And I believe the way to do that is through speaking. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of why I'm here.
I got ideas.
Get all your insights and intelligence and ideas for how to move forward.
Okay, I can only do so much in a short period of time. We're not going to create miracles here.
Come on.
Okay, just one question. On your website, now that you've fallen in love with speaking, do you have a speaker page?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. How many speeches do you have listed on that speaker page?
In terms of speeches I've given?
No, just the speeches that you offer.
Oh, like 3 or 4, I think.
Okay, we're going to make it 3.
Okay. So I think it actually might be 3, but I have to double check. I'm actually in the process of revamping my website and migrating it over to a different platform. So it's a little bit in flux right now. So this is very good timing.
Okay. The reason why it's going to be 3 is because 3 is a very magical number for the human brain.
Yeah.
I actually did an entire episode on it. Number 15, way back in the beginning, and also more recently, episode number 242. So you're going to put 3. If you do have 4, I want you to just cut it out. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's right.
No, that's fine. I mean, I mostly speak about burnout.
Okay.
And I
So
can
since you have a speech on burnout, in the description, you should also say, watch my TED Talk.
Yes.
And then point people over there.
Yes. There's going to be links to my TED Talk on every page of my website.
Very good. Very
yeah.
good. But the only disadvantage to that, to sending them, I would rather that
They leave that.
somehow you host it on your website. I realize like it's Ted's property now, but should be able to host the video. I know like on my website that I can actually host a YouTube video so that at least we're keeping
it
them on my own website.
Within the site. Yeah, I think I'm working with a phenomenal web designer. I found her fortuitously, and she's going to figure out a way to embed the YouTube video, I think, since I don't have the rights to the original raw video.
Right. And that we can keep that somewhere on your website, even if you take them from your speaker page to that page where that you have the TED Talk, so that then you can put some other information.
They're still within the website.
Yes. We just want to keep them there. And that way you'll be able to have like a button that says like, hey, book Dr. Zaria to come into your organization, book a call to talk more about hiring.
Yep.
So that is one way. The second way, I'd be like, I wish we had talked before you gave the talk. Just because, and I'll just share this with you because I haven't seen the talk, so I don't even know. I mean, maybe you've done some of this, but to be able to know ahead of time that I wanted to leverage this 12-minute TED Talk to do X, Y, and Z for me, then we would have approached writing it in a way. I wanted to get me more speaking events. I wanted to talk about my thought leadership. I wanted to get me more clients, more one-on-one clients. So
all of that, all of those things.
And all of those things are in there?
I believe so. I mean, those were all my goals. Well, my goal was really to share my message, but my sub goals were a lot of the things that you talked about. Like obviously get more exposure, get more visibility, become known as an expert, get people to want to work with me, get people to want to book me as a speaker. And I talk about a proprietary, idea and method. Obviously, TED has to be original ideas worth sharing. So I have a very original idea as a way to address burnout. And I do focus on that in the latter half of the talk. So hopefully it's achieving all those things.
Okay. So next would be, I think, for you to reach out to corporations to talk about burnout. Here's my specialty. Go watch this talk. Because your TED Talk is like a commercial to your keynote, to your workshop.
100%. And so when you say reach out to corporations, what's the best way to A, figure out which corporation, and then B, figure out who to reach out to and how to contact? Because that's where I get a little bit stuck sometimes.
Great question. And I'm going to tell you to start with your warm market. Have you spoken anywhere else besides TED?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to reach out to all those people who have booked you.
Okay.
I want you to reconnect with colleagues because we never know somebody from our past who might be on a committee for an organization. And especially with healthcare, medicine, there are so many professional trade and associations that are out there. So I always tell people, let's start with your warm market first, because then they'll introduce you to somebody who would technically be your cold market. But because they're going to make some sort of an email introduction, now it's actually like a lukewarm introduction.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. And I have those networks of people. I just haven't quite reached out. But yeah, and especially medicine. I talk a lot about burnout in medicine because that's my story and it's so common and it's so needed to, speak to physicians, especially women physicians about burnout.
Yes, absolutely. So by reaching out to the people that you haven't spoken to in years, okay, this is a great opportunity just to reconnect with them. Hey, Mary, I can't believe it's been 5 years since we worked together at the XYZ clinic. So much has gone on in my world, and I bet so much has gone on in your world. Hey, let's reconnect over coffee over the next couple of weeks and just put it out there. because you want to reconnect with them. And it's during that reconnection that you can share with them, this is what I'm doing now. And I'm also speaking. Ask them, hey, like what conferences have you been to? What associations do you belong to? Do they book speakers?
Love it.
And then be outstanding on the stage.
I think I am. I'm an opera singer and an actress.
Oh my goodness. All right. I've had clients.
Life before I became a physician. So I feel like I'm meant to be on stage and I'm very comfortable there. I love speaking to people in a crowd and I don't get nervous. I mean, I get a little nervous because I think you have to have that excitement. And when I'm up there, it feels like flying. So
Good. So I've had clients, one woman that I'm thinking in particular, who is an opera singer also, and she took my in-demand signature speech program. And I encouraged her, use that talent on the stage because there aren't a whole lot of speakers who sing on stage. And for you even to belt out a line would be so memorable.
True. I never thought of that. I don't know how I can work it into my medical burnout talk, but you never know.
It's a great way to bring your personality into your talk. And that's something that nobody can ever copy. You will be an original.
Well, there's no problem there.
But we want your audience to feel your personality, to experience your personality. And that's how they learn to know, like, and trust you.
Yes. I definitely use humor in my talks.
Good.
Along with data, self-deprecating humor and then hard data. And, mix it together and really deep personal storytelling, because I feel like that's also the way to reach people and that people remember the stories you tell. They don't necessarily remember the stat. But my talk definitely centers around very personal story as well. So, yeah, I think it's a good one. I'd love for you to watch.
Okay. So do you feel like you got what you needed?
I feel pretty good. Yeah. In terms of like next steps. Now, obviously, that's in terms of just like the reaching out to folks. I obviously have posted about the talk everywhere on my social media.
I keep doing
it. On Instagram, on LinkedIn, but I have to obviously like keep doing it. It's not something you can do one time and think like, oh, well, I posted about it that one time. But it always feels like, oh, I'm just posting all the time, but people don't necessarily
see
it or feel. Yeah. I've sent it to my, my newsletter audience, but I need to do that more. It's in my email signature now of every email that I send says, watch my TikTok. So, it's there. And I'm just trying to think of like, what else can I be doing? How else can I be moving this forward? But I feel like I am doing all the right things.
You are doing all the right things. On your LinkedIn, there's a section where you can have saved posts and saved articles. Yes. Your TED Talk should be right there.
Yes.
It should be in your bio that you've done a TED Talk. It should be in your summary about you as well. A link to it.
I think it is, but I will
Double check. And make sure you link it.
I link in my Instagram bio. Yes.
All the places. Yeah. Make sure you link in with me, connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where
I will.
Okay. So what is one or two goals nuggets that you were walking away with today?
I think I do have to really leverage what I already have. Like, I think was sort of approaching this as like, oh, I'm going to cold call all these companies, but I know so many people who work at so many companies. And I went to Harvard. I have a great network. I went to med school and, so I have all of these networks of folks who are potentially situated in high places. And actually one of my clients even works at Nike and she's going to try to get me a talk at Nike, which is very exciting.
That's very exciting.
You never know where you're going to find those connections. And I think I do need to kind of like dig deeper there and make those personal contacts and say, hey, remember me? We used to hang out in the dining hall or whatever, and make those contacts, reach out, like not be, afraid to do that rather than just cold emailing companies because that's way harder to do in a sense. Although it feels somehow less risky because you don't know anyone. You're like, whatever happens. And it's like, oh, I got to write to that person. Are they going to remember me? But I think it is the right approach. So that for sure. And then just some ways that I'm going to organize my website and certain pages on my website. I'm going to definitely make sure that I have 3 topics and that they are honed in on what I want to deliver rather than just some random talk that I don't want to give.
Right.
And just the different calls to action and the different ways to get folks to navigate and work with me, but still stay on the site and not leave and go to YouTube and watch cat videos.
Wonderful. That's a great,
I think
plan.
this is
Yes.
really odd and helpful. And it's so cool that you offer this. And I think I'm definitely going to check out your program as well, your in-demand signature speech program, because that is something that I might really enjoy.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. On my website, there is a web page about it, and that is about the live program.
Okay.
And if you would like access to the DIY program, just send me a DM
Okay.
or
And where
reach
is
out
the
to
live
me.
program?
Pardon?
Where is the live program?
The live program, well, it's done on virtually, but I only do that every once in a while. And sometimes people are like, I want to dive into this now. So that's why there's the DIY Start Anytime program. So just let me know. Yeah, just reach out and send me a DM because I usually only offer that when I'm on a sales call with somebody if it's the right thing.
Right. Okay. I love it.
So tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, and learn from you.
All the things. Yes. So you can find me on my website at www.drzaria, that's DRZARYA.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Dr. Zaria Rubin, again, like DRZARYA. I do have a private women's Facebook group that's called Burnout to Balance, and that is free to join. And we talk about all the things and it's fun. On my website, you can also sign up for my newsletter and get my free Burnout to Balance toolkit, which is an amazing guide that has all kinds of tips and help and tricks. And then, of course, watch my Tedx talk.
I was just about to promote that myself for you. Go to our website.
I feel like I've been talking about it this whole time. But yes, it is called The One Step to Alleviating Burnout. It is on YouTube. You can just search my name and I'm pretty easy to find. Thank you, Mom. So yeah, I would just love to connect with anyone. I'm happy to, I know I answer my DMs, my emails, folks can email me at hello@drzaria.com as well.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So everybody make sure you go follow her and don't forget to watch that TED Talk.
I would love to hear people's feedback.
Yes.
The feedback has been absolutely incredible, which makes me so happy. People say that it has really changed their lives and they've implemented the things that I talk about in the talk already.
All right.
So now they are actually living, what I'm preaching. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, everybody, go find out what those tips are and start implementing them yourself as well. So thank you, Dr. Zaria. If you would like to book a speaker breakthrough session because you've got this big question or you don't even know where to get started, whether you are new to speaking or you've got some speaking stages under your belt, you can book your own speaker breakthrough session. And during this free 25-minute session, we're going to talk about what's holding you back from using speaking as your best form of marketing. You can book that session at speakandstandout.com/SBS for speaker breakthrough session. Can't wait to see you on a future call.